A lot of things in life boil down to communication, to greed, to ego, and to pride. Now, I would say for me, it's more or less communication when it comes to communicating with people. And I said people instead of females, even though the original video I stitched off was more or less just having a story with a female. But it's like, I have no issue communicating clearly until I find myself stumbling to communicate clearly because the other time they tried to communicate clearly, they got upset and or pissed at me. So in my mind, I remember don't communicate too clearly to them. They are easily triggered and they do not have the emotional regulation or stability to be able to handle what I'm going to say. I don't mean it to be offensive. I don't mean it to be rude. I don't mean to try to do anything to them aside from just clear communication, just being open and honest about it. Because how I always think of things is, why didn't you tell me that? And that's because of how I think. So I just figure, fuck it, display all the information I feel like is valid for this current conversation and see where it leads. If the conversation leads to an argument, if I ever run into them again, remember, spread less in the conversation. If every conversation leads into an argument, remember, never talk to them. If they are at least an aware conversationalist that understand that sometimes that we might fumble our words incorrectly or sometimes we just need more time to clear things up, then they aren't that bad of a person to talk to. Now, give them the chance to, if you come up in the conversation, say, hey, Ethan, you're being confusing. Could you please explain? Or could you elaborate that more, Ethan? I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say. I am more than willing to explain this. I will admit I do not always use that in multiple conversations because in certain conversations, I'm just trying to leave the bit. Other conversations, I'm more or less worried about upsetting people, which now I'm just over it because at the same time, isn't the point of conversations to try to learn and figure out how well we can entertain each other and be around each other. So therefore, my fear of pissing you off is out the window because if I piss you off and I'm not intending to piss you off and you're not willing to express yourself on how I piss you off, I can't handle a problem that I do not know that exists now, can I? And a lot of people want us to be mind readers. You know why I'm upset at you. I don't even know why I'm upset at myself. I don't know why I can give you a million reasons why, and you can still tell me no to all those reasons. So honestly, for me to figure out the best reason of why you're upset at me, how about we use these things that we call communication, these words that we use, to self-expression. How about we express why, and we can work from there. That's also seemed to be an issue. Like, don't get me wrong, I have issues self-expressing. So I don't doubt it's going to be hard for others to do it as well, but for the fact that I'm trying and willing to do it, at least be trying and willing. That's also for the fact that everybody moves at different speeds and rates. It's just like either I'm being too impatient or you're just generally not moving. Like, it's not that I perceive that you're moving slow. You're not moving at all. Not even like one step per an hour, or trying to figure out why things are working the way that they do, why things fall the way that they do. I would consider myself a pretty blessed person, as well as a pretty cursed person. But it just really depends on how the situation ends out, and I've always figured, for as bad as things go, they never go as bad as I think they will, which is why I think I'm blessed. But because they happen in general, fucking I hate these goddamn life lessons. But it's the only way I'm going to learn.